Welcome back. Once again, we're seeing some more Higurashi. Things can only get better. I say as I remember countless paths and countless lives that have lost. So yeah, no, things can't get better. As long as things stay the status quo with no one dying, that's all we can really hope for. Still, with Rika out there seeing and speaking to shadows, Sadako trying her hardest to help out, but can't really think of a way through to her. And the mysteries of the town only ever growing. Yeah, we're going to be having some fun with this for a while. So, what better way to enjoy our time than ignoring everything around us and hoping that there's some more happy fun time in the school instead of just running for their lives and trying their hardest not to find themselves foul of whatever spirit is they're up against this time. So, let us watch some more. And with the many misfortunes that have befallen all of them, are they going to get a break? We kind of saw it with Rena when Keiichi reached through to her. But are they each going to have a moment like this? Or that? Also, this horned one that we see in the background, I'm guessing it is the one that Rika's been talking to and the only one that can see or interact with them. But why? How much do they have to do with the story and intertwined with it? I have so many questions rattling around in my brain. And I doubt many of them will be answered anytime soon. And are we going to get Sadako or anyone else interacting with them? And considering the voices that she was talking to before and the shadow in the kitchen, the wave, is that now less fourth wall breaking and more to that entity? Oh no, it's a trip. Oh no, the punishment. And yet they're fine wasting time with this. It's a punishment and insult they're lading onto him. Excuse me. Why was she on getting an additional treatment there along with just having a sentence or two? It won't be long now. Nothing has changed. With that little fray as well. There is an alteration, no matter how small. Already giving up because she thought things were completely the same. And yet, what about anything outside of her own peripheral vision? Just because she can't see it doesn't mean that there's nothing going on, nothing changing. I mean, a festival was, yeah, sure, all trying to have fun and all, but actively injuring yourself. That's not water, is it? Even though that they were the ones that were pushing him. Of course. Just because he didn't think of it, but still, yeah, powering on, and even with scolding burns and the like. It's not actually that many stalls for a small village fete festival thing. How many different options of eatery is there? There's some intense faces that we are getting throughout this episode for them all. No, seriously, look! Are they all going to go see her performance? Or actively trying not... I mean, they saw her going there. Did you not think it was going to be starting anytime soon? But also with the fray, the thread being cut, does that mean that there's hope for this iteration? I mean, as a tradition or something, all fine and like, but it wasn't too fancy. And quick. Exactly. Why else would you need to go rushing off? Is she talking about the tool shed? Okay, she may be a little too late, but keep your wits about you. Well, you know, as a threat, yeah, he definitely won't go in the tool shed again. If he falls, that is a prerequisite for the rest of them. I mean, if anyone was told, you know, be wary of your life from a child like that, you would take it as just a almost like innocent games or playful curses rather than an actual threat on your life for summers past. Hopefully her grabbing onto his inner arm there wasn't a way to spread whatever was going on. And who could ever want to go and talk to her? Does he have any more information for us? Anything at all, really? I'll take the slightest brief hints at this point. the police don't really seem to be all too effective when it comes to all of the disappearances, and they're like, oh, just a passerby. Who could that have been? Who would have seen them talking? Not explicitly told, but at least withholding some information there. Good. And which means she must have rushed off. It must be very important. Also, the fact that we have that duality of her persona that everyone gets to see, this voice, the childlike innocence compared to what she's truly thinking. That would give rise to everyone kind of playing down the issue. Impossible. She could never lie. You may want to stop that before it floods everything. Yeah, you can at least try and reach out. Something has changed, as you said it as yourself, Fred. That means there's hope, there's chance of something. She doesn't want a replay of the past. Trying to reach out and help her friend. And now, even her most precious friend is withholding stuff from her. She said with a pained expression. Is this a way of trying to spare her the thought of it all? There's a very heavy cat. Lock the windows, lock the doors. I've never seen a cat wear a shirt like that. But there's multiple interested parties that could be following along. The police being one of them, you know, she's a person of interest. The white van men still have no idea what they have in connection to the story and everything. He's really not doing too well at concealing being there, is he? Or is this... Or it could also be just like the paranoia, the thinking things are... Thinking things are wrong and visualizing someone out there. Oh, now who's lying? Although if she's not entirely sure, then is it a lie, or is it just playing down a worry? There's just a lot of cats around. Says the one who knows all about acting strange. Does it go both ways? Just forever lurking just out of sight, although we've been told that before, there's someone always behind them. Yeah, no matter what may be worrying you or following around in this village of curses and fate, just smile and laugh. But the fact for Rika to be saying this, knowing what's going to be coming up, she is trying to make everyone else at least not worry, not think about things. Well, it's constantly on her mind. A strange person-shaped shadow. Yeah, nothing to worry about. Now, compared to before, when we had paranoia rife and thinking that everyone is against them, not reaching out at all, and now Satoko actually seeing something, and no one else catching it in time or believing her. That was a waste. Well, if she gives up and accepts everything as impossible, then it is just going to happen again. Is the floor still damp? She has an incredibly vivid imagination. Asking the others if Rika's not going to be too helpful about it. At least get the others to keep an eye out, just in case. If it's more than just her. Multiple voices all confirming the same thing. There is something out there. Although it could go the other way, so they didn't see anything either. Constantly looking the wrong way. Or for her to purposely pretend as though there's nothing. I mean, the fact that they're worried about her. They are trying. They said they'd look out while still, they're humouring her while also checking to see if there's anything following around. Now, why would she be sleeping without the blanket? It's just a very warm night. Although, worrying about something else in particular. It's something that the police couldn't help with. I guess, in a sense, she's being threatened, but the fact that she's going over and over something in her mind to try and come up with some sort of resolution just for herself. A perimeter? they'll be able to tell if anyone comes nearby now. They trip the rope, get the chimes to play. If the leaf is still in place when they get back, all is okay. For a child to think of it, that's actually pretty impressive. It's a measure to make sure no one's actually been in your house that I've seen done before. But how many times has she attempted to change it in the past for her to be so sure that it won't have any difference now? This has already happened, okay. There was never a indication or a start so far of what could have led to that. Like the last time we saw him and the last time we heard about taking the long sleep was just after he had interviewed Keiichi. There is I'm not sure something that a physician or a doctor can really help with, but as someone who would actually take her fears and worries with a little compassion, at least. As long as you don't send the one that's been chasing her and following them around. Yeah, just ignore the fact that the doctor has just ended everything. Oh, wow, you can see it on the back, the passenger window. Well, I wonder if he's going to, or if he has already told the officer. It's just the wind. But also, now that they know that there's someone on guard, at least. The perimeter alarm, letting her know there is someone outside. Riku obviously had to be asleep during that, though. Now they know about it, they won't make it sound and trip it again. Anyone that she tries to reach out to strangely goes missing or finds a way to end their own troubles. Was the doctor just because she went to him about being followed, or is that separate as well? Did the men in grey have something to do with that one as well as the officer? Are the interactions here about him being taken out one in the car completely separate as well, and it's just a coincidence that Sadako talked to him? Seeing just a little bit more of the photographer before everything went down south for his life. .com. With Rika confirming things like, oh, if you've gone in, well, we're too late. Oh, wow, things really go overboard. I said I would probably stop watching those end bits, but because they just like guess go immediately into it, I forget. Oh God, though. With the constant worries, the paranoia of someone constantly following you. I said it during the episode. We've seen paranoia and what it can do to someone before. Although what we saw before was Keiichi believing that his friends were against him, that he can trust anyone. Whereas this time, it was the idea of someone actually being outside and no one believing your words. And is it going to get to a point where a crying wolf, she said it one too many and no one actually listens anymore? The fear of her, what she's going through now, not only someone is outside the door, not only the stuff with her brother, the stuff with the people disappearing and dying on the festival night, but the one person she could always trust and turn to is withholding information, is lying to her, is pretending everything is okay while secretly crying and worrying about her own death and demise and everyone else's as well. In her attempt to try and spare her from the pain of knowing it all, she's separating and keeping her away from it, or from any sort of comforting thought, not realizing the damage she's causing by trying to be helpful. That's Rika, by the way. Sadako just bearing the brunt of everything. She doesn't know what's going on. She doesn't know that Rika has gone through this countless, a myriad of times before. If she opened up and told Sadako everything, sure, she might be right. Nothing would change. Has she tried telling her everything and working things through? I'm assuming yes. That's why she's saying it won't work. But without seeing it, we don't know. If this is like a Groundhog Day where she's been through this summer almost an infinite times, has she truly tried everything? But the worst thing about it is her fears of someone being outside, while we probably know there is someone actually lurking around. Should she be scared of it? Because so far it just seems as though everyone that gets close to those two has some fate before them. If they were trying to harm them, they would have done it already. If they can get to the others, if they can take out a police officer with no fear of retribution, they can get rid of a couple of children. So, what is going on? Is this some of the large-scale government conspiracy here? Is this linking back to that idea? What organisation is behind it? Who's pulling the strings? What caused the photographer to claw his own throat out? I know it was the idea of the maggots under the skin, claw, claw, claw. Anyway, what led up to it? How did he get infected? Why did it lead to that exact point? Why is going into the tool shed a catalyst for it? If he didn't, if somehow she managed to stop them from going inside, what changes? And they're going to have to just appease the shrine, return the hand. And at what point does the voice in the darkness interact with us in a better way? Actually changes the story slightly. Before we knew about the Rika talking to herself in the kitchen, or to herself in the kitchen, we just had this vague idea of she knows what's going on and is going through several kind of attempts to change fate. Now there's this mysterious figure who is helping, hindering, not really getting involved. While we're going through the mystery of who is against them, who wants to help, sit down, talk it through would help so many of the characters right now. Because Rika's, I said it before, and I'm just keep gravitating to it. Rika's attempt to save her from everything is driving her insane. He's putting her in a worse place, a worse state of mind, just for her to, if everyone does die anyway, for it to be drawn out and horrible. Rather than what she was attempting to be, just pretend everything's smiley and fine, and then, oh no, death. If there is truly no avoiding it, well, all we can do is hope to get some answers before it ends. Which means watching more. So if you've enjoyed this episode, let me know. If I've missed something dramatically, which I probably almost certainly have, drop it down in the comments. If I've entertained you, potentially leave a like. If you want to make sure not to miss out further episodes in the future, consider subscribing to the channel. It's really easy, it's really free, the button's right there. You can also jump onto my Discord. As long as you're not a bot, compromised accounts and whatnot get banned very quickly now. Yeah, as long as you're not a bot, look forward to seeing you. But until then, get some rest. And I hope I can see you for the next one. I know that the only ones that may actually listen to what I say would be my patrons. So if you want to lessen the impact of the man hiding outside the window, consider joining onto my Patreon and help me with securing my channel with some extra locks and some really thick chains. But still, I really do need to thank M.O, Noku, Sal, Guado, Kite, Wolfie Sensei, and everyone else for their continued support and knowing that there's at least someone out there that doesn't wish me harm.